Hello, welcome to another Seismic Assault matchup. This time we are playing against a white knight deck. Don't really see this deck all that often, but I actually ran into it twice now. I think I put a video in my last article into this deck, and it was an interesting matchup again, so figured it was worth going for. This is our opener. It's really nice, but just as a one lander it's a bit awkward. But I think I actually stick with this. We do run, I think, 26 lands. There's a good chance we run a land, we get into our lands, and Young Pyromancer seems very good. Lead off with a Raven's Crime. I'm going to drop some Path. I'm just going to drop a Pyromancer. Plays Knight of Meadowgrain, which is fine. I'm actually going to double Flame Jab here. Get a couple of elemental tokens and be able to kill the knight and get into 2. Seems very good. And gets Knight Exemplar. Going to be Abrupt Decay that. And that's 4. The reason I Abrupt Decay rather than Lightning Bolt is because Lightning Bolt can go to the face. Opponent plays a Knight Exemplar and a Student of Warfare. Once again, very fine. It's actually one of the more aggressive hands we can get. Actually play the Young Pyromancer out here just so we can get even more tokens. So use the bolt there, attack in with everybody. Doesn't kill off the Pyromancer, which is quite interesting. Simply because he wanted to make an indestructible creature, but that doesn't last for too long. Let's try a third Abrupt Decay, I believe. Second Abrupt Decay. Like nearly all our removals at this point. Going to get in here for a lot of damage. 7, putting him down to 2. There's Knight of Meadowgrain, but it's not going to make any difference. He's dead there, and that works out pretty nicely for us. One of the better aggro kind of hands for us. So let's go on to game 2. So we end up mulliganing it down to this hand. Not the most exciting of hands. Inquisition, looting, which will hopefully find something a little more exciting. A couple of removal spells. Not the worst. Inquisition. End up taking the Core Firewalker. We can deal with it with Abrupt Decay, but yeah, I don't know if that was the right choice. Sword of Fire and Ice is obviously really awful for us. We did have an answer to Core Firewalker, but it's still a massive pain. Maybe I should have taken the sword. Not sure on that one. We do have 2 Abrupt Decays, so we can deal with sword if it comes down to it. Draw life from loan, which sounds good. Alone with some lands here. One doesn't have the Meadowgrain. He's going to get an extra land drop here. Oh, actually no, he kept a really land light hand, so that found him his 3rd land though, which was good for him. We'll loan up some lands again. Plays Light from Within, which is an interesting card. Gives each creature +1/+1 for each white symbol in its mana cost. So let's go to 2/2, let's go to 4/4. Still kill them both though. So I'm going to bolt the Student, Abrupt Decay the other guy, get a Raven's Crime. I'm going to be able to cast Life from Loan this turn, but I don't think that's too bad. So not getting the sword out of his hand is kind of regrettable. So Dredge back low, good a Faithless Looting to see if we can find powerful for us. Give it Abrupt Decay. Opponent plays a Student, pours all his mana into it and puts a sword on it. It's quite unfortunate seeing as though that's actually too big to deal with. I wanted to just Abrupt Decay the sword rather than the creature, because obviously the sword can move about. Love the sword, but I'm going to take 4 here, and the Mirroring Crusade is just too much to deal with. I mean, I had to blow up the sword because otherwise he makes a 6/6 pro black, pro green, pro red, pro blue. Ugh, difficult for me to say. Yeah, so protection from 4 colours. So there was nothing I could do about that. So yeah, we end up losing there. Maybe if we'd taken the sword earlier, that would have worked out better. maybe we should have used our removal spells a little bit better, as it felt like we had the advantage there, and we had our loam engine going basically. So yeah, perhaps could have done better there under the circumstances. Let's go on to game 3. This is a fairly nice hand. Got Combust and Anger from the sideboard. Got Seismic Assault. Can't quite cast, but Seismic Assault's very good against the Night deck, where most of his creatures are going to be 2/2s. Provided he doesn't get out Light from Within or something along those lines. I'll lose off a Student. Crypt. Playing Overgrown Tomb. But there's a Firewalker, so that's quite good. Anger's not going to be able to deal with that, so probably going to be using Abrupt Decay on it. Going to get an extra line drop with the Knight, and going to level up the Student. Going to Abrupt Decay for Firewalker here. Don't want to keep it around. Hopefully that'll persuade him to add a few more creatures to the board. Play Seismic here. I did think about the potential that he would just spend next turn leveling up his Student. Considering that, I think I should have just played Anger. Especially since we have 2. I kind of wanted to save my Anger and hope that he drops some more creatures on the board, but yeah, my opponent played smart. Just levels up the Student, gets in for a lot of damage. So yeah, it would have been better to play Anger on that turn rather than the Seismic Assault. I'm going to end up having to play Anger here and then use the extra Seismic Assault ability to kill off the Student. It's Inquisition there. The opponent's got two Knights, a Knight of the White Orchid, a Knight of the Meadowgrain, and a Knight Exemplar, none of which are particularly scary. They're all 2/2s. I take the Lord because it seems like the best way to go about things, but yeah, not particularly scared by any of those. The fact he didn't even play them out makes them even less scary, pretty much. Got Raven's Crime there, so I can make him discard, but I feel like keeping up my lands for Seismic seems a little bit better. He ends up playing the Knights out, perhaps his own guy to get him to land, but it's all fairly irrelevant, and I managed to kill it off these guys. There's a Knight, I draw a land, which means I can kill it with Seismic Assault. It purges the Seismic Assault, but it turns out it was not too devastating for us. We've got the Sky Hunter, actually running out of lands now, hoping to draw a Loam. So we're going to Combust the Sky Hunter, soon as we're down to 5. Had we angered earlier, we wouldn't be so low, but I don't think it makes a massive difference. It's pretty much game, like we can run back 3 lands each turn, which is 6 points of damage. I'm going to Raven's Crown the last card out of his hand. I'm going to play a land, just I didn't really need to, I suppose, but just in case I need to do. But I'm feeling fairly in control. I'm just going to be playing Loam every turn, basically, and shooting them at the end of turn. I can put them down to 10 here. Back Loam. Going back land. Play Ravine here, so there's another way to attack my opponent. There's Python Needle, which is a nice answer to Seismic Assault, but as it turns out I have Abrupt Decay, so that manages to persuade him to play out his creatures. So I let him do it, and just kill off his guys, and yeah, like I said, we were in very firm control from there on out, and just to pick up the win. So good game.